America has a graveyard. It's not marked on any map. It doesn't hold bodies. It holds billions of dollars in concrete, steel, and abandoned ambition. 5 megaprojects, over $6 billion spent, and nothing to show for any of it, except holes in the ground, sealed tunnels, and questions nobody wants to answer. Today, we're breaking down the 5 most ambitious megaprojects America ever started, and why every single one was abandoned before it was finished. Project 1, the Superconducting Super Collider. In 1983, the United States made a decision that should have changed physics forever. The Superconducting Super Collider, 87 kilometers of tunnel, a particle accelerator 3 times more powerful than anything Europe would ever build. 40 billion electron volts of collision energy. The United States was going to own the frontier of particle physics, and then it didn't. By 1993, 14 miles of tunnel had already been bored beneath Waxahachie, Texas. 17 shafts sunk, 22 surface buildings completed, $2 billion spent. But here's the catch. The initial cost estimate of $4.4 billion had ballooned past $12 billion. Congress, facing a deficit reduction crunch, killed the project in a floor vote. $2 billion, 14 miles of tunnel, and a hole in physics that no American collider has ever filled. That's important because every major particle physics discovery since 1993, including the Higgs boson, happened in Europe, at CERN, in the machine that was built because America walked away from its own. The SSC site today, partially flooded, sold off to a chemical company. The Cathedral of American Physics, now a warehouse. Project 2, the Cincinnati Subway. Beneath Central Parkway in Cincinnati, Ohio, there's a subway system that has never carried a single passenger, not one. Construction began in 1920. The plan called for 16 miles of underground rail, connecting downtown Cincinnati to the underground suburbs. By 1925, 2.2 miles of tunnel had been dug. Stations were half built, platforms were poured, track was laid, and then the money ran out. But here's the real question. Why didn't Cincinnati just finish it later? Cities restart stalled projects all the time. The answer is that the city council spent the next 20 years arguing about who would pay. By the time they stopped arguing, the automobile had arrived. The suburbs had sprawled in directions the subway didn't reach. The moment had passed. 2.2 miles of tunnel, 100 years in the dark. The trains never came. Project 3, the Chicago Spire. Chicago has never been afraid of building tall, but in 2007, the city approved something that would have redefined its skyline entirely. The Chicago Spire. 2,000 feet, 150 stories. A twisting residential tower designed by Santiago Calatrava, the architect behind some of the most iconic structures on Earth. Ground was broken, a hole was dug, $76 million in pre-sales were secured. The developer had commitments from buyers who wanted to live in the tallest residential building in the Western Hemisphere. And then 2008 happened. The financial crisis vaporized the condo market overnight. Buyers defaulted on their contracts. Financing collapsed. The developer defaulted on a $76 million loan. Construction stopped permanently. That hole sat in downtown Chicago for 13 years. A 110-foot deep crater at one of the city's most valuable intersections. It wasn't filled until 2021. The 2,000-foot tower reduced to a hole. Not because of engineering failure, not because of zoning or politics, because the global economy broke at exactly the wrong moment. Project 4, Project Plowshare. Between 1961 and 1973, the United States government detonated 27 nuclear bombs on purpose on American soil to see if they could be used for construction. This was Project Plowshare. The logic was simple. If a nuclear bomb can destroy a city, it can also move a mountain. The Atomic Energy Commission proposed using hydrogen bombs to excavate a second Panama Canal, to blast a harbor into the coast of Alaska, to fracture underground rock formations and free up natural gas. The Sedan test in 1962 moved 12 million tons of earth in less than 3 seconds. It created the largest man-made crater in the United States. And that's where the problem became impossible to ignore. The crater was radioactive. The displaced soil was radioactive. Every single test, all 27 of them, left behind contamination that would take decades to decay. The idea of using nuclear bombs to dig a canal began to sound less like visionary engineering and more like madness. By 1977, Plowshare was dead. 27 detonations, unknown millions in cleanup costs, and no canal, no harbor, no gas field, just craters. Project 5, the Marble Hill Nuclear Plant. On a bend of the Ohio River in southern Indiana, 2 nuclear cooling towers rise above the trees. They've never cooled anything. The Marble Hill Nuclear Power Plant broke ground in 1977, 2 pressurized water reactors, 2,200 megawatts of generating capacity. Indiana Public Service Company projected the plant would power a city the size of Indianapolis for 40 years. But in 1979, 3 Mile Island partially melted down, and everything changed. Regulations tightened, safety requirements multiplied, costs tripled. By 1984, Public Service Indiana had spent $2.5 billion on a plant that was only 50% complete, and the projected final cost had reached $7 billion. The utility walked away, $2.5 billion. 2 cooling towers and not a single watt of electricity ever generated. The towers are still there. You can see them from the river. 5 projects, over $6 billion, and only one thing each of them proved. Ambition without alignment doesn't build monuments, it builds ghosts. But here's the real question. Which of these was the bigger mistake? Letting the Superconducting Super Collider die while CERN claimed the future of physics? Or spending 27 nuclear bombs trying to dig a hole? Cities don't evolve by playing it safe. They evolve when someone decides the status quo isn't enough anymore. But these 5 projects are proof that ambition alone isn't enough. You need timing, you need funding that outlasts political cycles, and sometimes you just need luck. But what do you think? Was the Superconducting Super Collider America's biggest scientific missed opportunity? Or was canceling it the right call? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into the infrastructure and mega projects that shaped and almost shaped this country, make sure to hit that subscribe button.